Wanted to give you a look inside the stadium so we can get a real primer here for this game Saturday afternoon. Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. It was over 4 years ago that this was erected, and it was built so this team could go in this stadium and win games like this one against TCU. It was built to give them an edge. Not a lot of teams have facilities like Arkansas has. TCU doesn't have facilities like this. They've got some nice ones. They don't have this.
Well, in first home game in Fayetteville, so we're trying to make sure we put an impact on this season.
It's going to be a great atmosphere. 2:30 kickoff, CBS, and the future game of the day on that. It's just a fun time to be here.
This is a big game for Brett. This is his 5th year. They've got support. They've got great facilities. This is all Brett's players, and this is a big game. It's been a long time since TCU has come to Fayetteville. It is going to be live in here.
This might not be one of the top 5 crowds ever, just because above me.
I don't know what the seating is up there. I think it's been reduced. There is some up there, but it's not like it was. So it may not be the biggest crowd that they've ever had here, but I think it's probably going to be the loudest.
And mainly because, as Bielema says, this really traps a lot of the noise.
With this new construction, even though it's not finished, the reverberation, the sound really bounces off all of this.
They can feel just kind of the reverberation.
A lot of steel up there, so they're expecting it to be insanely loud.
I'm excited. I think with the construction, everything closed off will be louder. The one thing is, the more fans, the more loud they can get, the better, so I'm excited for it.
It's going to be electric with the 2 Jumbotrons here and up here. Very fast opponent coming in here in TCU. There's no question TCU has a lot of speed. TCU's tough, man. They're very fast. They're undersized by design because they put a bigger emphasis on speed than anything else. This is when we're really going to see what Arkansas is made of. We didn't see everything that they have with that offense.
They haven't even opened up their offense yet, but we got to push them to that. If we don't push them to bring out all the big guns and things like that, they'll be able to sit back, settle back, sit down, and just do what they do.
Pretty interesting opponent coming in here. They're looking for redemption. They wore them out for 3 quarters in Fort Worth last year, and then of course they came back and the game went into overtime. They scored 21 points in the 4th quarter, and you might think that's Kenny Hill bringing them back, but really it's Kevontae Turpin. Turpin had catches of 43 yards and 57 yards in the 4th quarter, and with like 40 seconds left, he had a 67-yard kickoff return to set up a field goal, which they ended up missing because of Dan Skipper blocking it. Good boy. TCU has some fast cats. They're going to want to try to get to the edge, and you have to wonder, is Arkansas better prepared for the 4th quarter this year? It's an area where they've struggled. So what's it going to be like that time with all that speed?
Because size doesn't really matter if you can't catch people.
Arkansas's got some more weapons, I think, than they had last year. They've got some more speed on defense. You know, one of the things that we're really seeing with that 3-3-5 is they're basically replacing a 265-pound defensive end with a 228-pound outside linebacker in Ramsey, who's extremely fast, a guy that can do several different things for you. Faster on defense, I think that'll go a long way against what is going to be a really fast offense. So I've been looking over the depth chart, putting things together for game day. Something that stood out to me really was the number of seniors that TCU has on offense especially. Kind of freaked me out for a second. I already knew that they're loaded with seniors, but when you're going through there and it's 10 seniors you're writing down, and it's one after another, every time you write a name, senior, 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 senior. Those guys remember. They've been through the wars and they know what it takes to win. They know all the little tricks and stuff. Last year, I might have put too much stock into it for Arkansas because they did have 20 seniors, 19 seniors, something like that. Maybe a lot of people put too much stock in that. I think Bielema did it. I think about sometimes who are they going to be facing, and for Arkansas, it's a sophomore, McTelvin Agim, very talented guy, but he's still a sophomore. He still lacks some experience. Bijan Jackson's a senior, but doesn't have a wealth of playing experience, and the same with TJ Smith. And the guys behind them, also sophomores, redshirt freshmen. Dijon Harris, as impressive as he was in the opener, he's still just a true sophomore, and Randy Ramsey hasn't played a whole lot of football. A lot of seniors for TCU. Anyway, kind of freaked me out a little bit. I'm not saying I'm that worried, but it freaked me out. It freaked me out a little bit.
Obviously, the Ryan Pulley situation's a concern. You're replacing him with a true freshman, and I mean, if he's not the best defensive player you've got, he's definitely the best defensive back. And I saw some good things out of Cameron Curl.
Cameron Curl moves into the job just like he did Thursday night, moves into it right away. But there'll be an ongoing competition and a rotation amongst all 4 corners the remaining 4 corners that play. You've got Tolliver on the right side, you got Brito play either side, you got Curl, and you got Jeff Callaway.
Curl may end up being awesome. That's
possible. But think about Ryan Pulley as a freshman. He struggled in some games.
He started that one game and they just picked on him the whole time. TCU has some crafty veterans. That's a big concern, and not only this game, but moving forward through the whole season. Losing Ryan Pulley impacts your depth. Last year they got tired.
But at least they've got better options than they had last year. They still have Tud. They can play Kevin Richardson now. They work Josh Liddell at nickel, so they can move things around if they need to. They do have quality freshmen coming in. Chevin Callaway is also a nice addition. The one thing that really just surprised me was Austin Allen's play. I think that surprised most people. I mean, was it just a new receiver, so many new faces, changing his shotgun stance up, just live bullets for the first time? I agree with Brett. It took that 3rd and 4 play where he had to spin around and then hit Austin Cantrell. That was really the play I felt like got him in the game. He made a big jump last year, the TCU game. You remember the Louisiana Tech game, it wasn't just like lights out for Austin Allen. They barely won that game, and then really his coming out party was that TCU game. Arkansas needs that Austin Allen, and maybe even a little bit better this Saturday. Looking forward to seeing that, and seeing Jared Cornelius get more involved.
Very difficult season ahead of us. And, this game this week against TCU could really be that motivation to get some steam rolling into this.
They said this week that Jared is really playing the best that they've seen him since he got back to practice, so that's a good sign. I want to see all those guys get involved more. I want to see Jordan Jones go deep. What's that look like? Live speed. TJ Hammonds get more incorporated. All that kind of stuff.
And then, of course, with Ty Clary.
Is Clary really the best option there? And if he is, that's a concern, because what about Jalen Merrick, Jake Rawlerson? He's better than those guys. Zach Rogers, he's a better option than those guys. Even if Wallace isn't your guy, there are plenty of other guys that have been in the system longer. So I don't know. Maybe he's a phenom.
That kid knows where he's going and knows what he's on. Obviously, I'm going to have to help him out a little more than usual and have to tell him where he's going and everything like that. But when he knows where he's going, he's quite the player. And by the end of his 4 years here, he's going to be a really good football player.
Especially Ty for his first game. I thought he was pretty comfortable. I thought he played with good pad level, good man. He's physical and trying to finish guys.
I thought they did a great job running behind Clary. That wasn't a problem. He is going to see better players, though, in SEC play, and I wonder how that's going to translate. This will be a good measuring stick for him, the TCU game. Now, here's where I think Arkansas wins the game. Kendrick Jackson, Hayden Johnson, Austin Cantrell, Jeremy Patton. To me, Arkansas has the best group of non-offensive line blockers that they've had since Bielema has been here. And who are they going after? 215-pound linebacker, 220-pound linebacker. To put that in perspective for TCU, their top 6 linebackers on their depth chart, none of them are as big as Arkansas's 4 starting linebackers. The only place TCU is big is the interior with the defensive tackles. The defensive ends go about 245. I mentioned the linebackers. Your corners are about 5'10", 170.
Small, fast, whatever you want to call them. They're good. They're coached well. They do a great job of getting to the ball.
The only big player in their secondary is their strong safety. So what I see happening is Arkansas just softening that middle, softening the edge. Kendrick Jackson, battering ram over and over and over again, softening those guys up. Then you see guys like Chase Hayden and TJ Hammonds really making big plays, and that's how Arkansas gets it done in the 4th quarter this year. The menu has changed a little bit. Not a lot of healthy options, but most people will enjoy that. So, new service, bringing food to you.
So these are the displays right here. This is what it look like. So this is the blackened ribeye sandwich with horseradish cream, arugula, sliced tomatoes. We have our WPS cheddar BLT burger. That'll be in clubs.
My main man, sit. Oh boy, check. I just got him back from the groomers. Strider's 11. He's about to be 12. Just got him back from the groomers, and they gave him a buzz cut. They were supposed to just trim you up, weren't they? You got a buzz cut. It's gonna be cold when autumn hits. I don't mind looking after him, even though he is a huge Missouri fan. Hey, sit. Bang.